A new record low for President Marcos. The latest social weather station survey shows his net satisfaction rating dropping to -15, classified as poor. Only 33% are satisfied with his performance, while 49% are dissatisfied. As Marcos's numbers drop, political tension builds up in the Senate. This, as the ombudsman is set to file plunder and malversation charges against Senators Jinggoy Estrada and Joel Villanueva over the flood control scandal. And more criticisms against Senator Amy Marcos's video presentation alleging a charter change plot. Tingog Party List Representative Jude Asidre calls it a disgrace to the Senate and a form of political vandalism. Good evening. You're still watching Political Beat, and I'm Lourdes Vera. Another colorful day in the Senate, this time courtesy of a light-hearted moment from Senator Lito Lapid. For the details and more, we talked to our mobile journalist, Merrimon Reyes. Merrimon, a manifestation that had everyone at the edge of their breath. Si Alan Cayetano sinabi na, moment of silence please. Akala ko kung sino yung si Lito Lapid was about to speak. What did the gentleman from Pampanga exactly manifest, Merrimon?
Lord, sa pinaka-pagsisimula ng sesyon, naging tahimik nga ang lahat dahil si Senyor daw ay magsasalita, and Senator Lito Lapid took to the floor and clarified his stance and his alignment that is still with the minority, contrasting daw sa kung ano ang lumalabas na siya raw ay umanib na or sumama na sa Senate Majority Bloc. And this follows yesterday kung saan yung manifestations kasi ni Senator Mig Zubiri of striking off the official records yung video na pinlay supporting the privileged speech of Senator Amy Marcos. And ang nilino kasi ni Senator Lito Lapid, he is supporting yung manifestation of Senator Biggs to strike it out of the official records, and kinlarify niya na align pa rin daw talaga siya sa minority. This followed a thankful and gratitude-filled Senator Pia Cayetano. Ang sabi niya, kahit daw magkaibang partido na raw sila, minority bloc man daw, majority bloc man daw, buwanan merong ipinapadala pa rin na Maha Blanca at suman si Senator Lito Lapid dito kay Senator Pia. This followed itong naging remark ni Senator Lito Lapid kay Senator Pia na mahal kita, Lord.
Kapalit ng Maha Blanca. Anyway, so medyo kahit papano nag-ease yung tensyon. At first time in a long while na nakarinig tayo ng ganitong mga salita ng assurances, ng friendship at pagmamahal ng isang senador sa kapwa senador in the most human kind, the most human form, the most agape, ika nga nila. Pero Merrimon, kahit papaano, so intact itong sinasabi na lang SB 11, tama?
Still solid block or SB 11, ito yung minority block. And ang nasabi kasi dyan ni Senator Risa Ontiveros yesterday, hindi pa raw sila madadagdagan. And ang possible challenges talaga na kinakaharap nila, while negotiations are still going, dahil nga it's still a counting of numbers yung paghanap daw ng common values, common grounds, and making sure na lahat daw ng papasok sa grupong bubuin o yung majority nga na new majority just in case ay pare-parehong magaan ang loob. Pero ang nasabi naman yesterday ni Senator Mig Zubiri rin, iba pa rin daw talaga, syempre, yung tension, yung emosyon, they run high sa mga senador following nga yung shooting incident and yung mga lumipas pang araw dito sa Senado. Pero back-end channels, talks are still underway, and they're hoping na makabuo nga ng coalition, and this coalition is supporting Senator Sherwin Gatchalian for the Senate leadership. Over the weekend, ang sabi niya ni Senator Sherwin, if ever man, handa raw siyang tanggapin ang leadership, the big responsibility of carrying the Senate President role. Pero, well, we're yet to hear or see kung mangyayari yan. Kasi sa pagsisimula ng session kanina 3 p.m., walang nag-motion sa floor for a coup d'etat or a leadership change. Lord.
Pero bakit hindi pa rin nawawala ang confidence nitong minority that they will have or they have the numbers?
Actually, Lord, kanina nga ang lumabas kasi itong charges na of plunder kay Senator Jigo Estrada. Nasabi pa ng Office of the Ombudsman, hinug na rin daw yung possible charges pa sa ibang mga senador, though hindi nagbanggit na pangalan. Pero even yung sa case din ni case against Senator Joe Villanueva, hinug na rin daw. Pero itong mga senador, pare-parehong tikom ang kanilang mga bibig. Ang huling nasabi ni Senator Amy Marcos din kahapon before the session, solid daw silang 13. Sabi naman ni Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano, 13 sila. Sa 13 na to, wala raw onsehan. And yung onsehan kasi na yan, slang din yan, na double crossing.
Yes.
So, while we're still waiting kung ano mangyayari, again, we're diving down to the numbers. So, if ever na magkakaroon talaga ng kudita, we're gonna wait. Sinong dalawa? At least 2. 13 pa rin kailangan buuin eh. Kahit sabihin natin absent si Senator Bato de la Rosa, still a part pa rin talaga sa rules is yung majority, hindi simple majority. So, sino ang maglilipat bakod sa dalawa? Pero so far ngayon, basing off sa mga naging remarks ng majority senators, mukhang intact din pa ang 13 on the majority.
Yung kahapon, immediately after the manifestation of the minority senators, sunod-sunod, there was a moment, I think slightly off mic, si Senator Marcoleta ay tinanong si Lito Lapid kung may sasabihin daw ba siya. Ito ba dapat yung supposedly sasabihin niya?
Well, hindi nabigyan kasi ng context ni Senator Lapid. Ang nakita rin natin nung time na yon, papunta, yung direction ng paglalakad ni Senator Lito Lapid was facing the rostrum. And then nakita natin si Senator Marcoleta, parang kinakausap siya, and then parang tinapik siya, bumalik doon sa upuan niya. So, we didn't actually get any clear context sa naging conversation nila. Pero, again, kanina sa naging manifestation ni Senator Lapid, he clarified na taliwas sa mga lumalabas na sinasabing nakipag-alyado na raw siya o umanib na raw siya sa majority. He still aligns with the minority and he supports the manifestation yesterday of Senator Mig Zubiri of striking out the video of Senator Amy Marcos sa official records of the Senate.
At siya, pag sinabi ni Lito Lapid na siya nananawagan ng pag-aayos sa tunay na pagkakaisa,
Yes. Naibalik
marami
daw
na
yung dangal. Dangal ng Senado. Lalo't may mga may mga pare na nandito raw. So, ni-recognize yung kanina ni Senator Lapid at sinabi, pagdasal daw silang lahat. And lalo pa yung gusto nga nilang maibalik na raw yung dangal at yung integridad ng Senado.
yung mga pari na yun, hindi ba exorcism na yung gagawin nila o kailangan ng Senado at this point, Mary Mon? Hindi mo kailangan sagutin yan, Mary Mon. On to another issue. Si Senator Erwin Tulfo ay may niraise na issue. Totoo ba ito? Meron daw mga areas na pinagbabawalan pumuesto ang media?
Well, Lord, ako kasi, ang pinaka-naabot ako talaga tinututukan ko itong Senate was the leadership of former SP Chis Escudero and then former SP Tito Soto. And ang naobserbahan natin during those times kasi is, lalo na ngayon, sige, dagdag na rin natin ngayon yung sa leadership under SP Cayetano, marami ng personnel from the Office of the Surgeon at Arms ang parang barricade sa harapan namin while we're waiting for a possible ambush interview sa mga senador na dadaan sa elevator na papasok ng session hall. Meron ding rails sa paligid naman. Ito naman sa loob ito ng session hall. May rails sa gilid, may chairs for guests on the other side. Facing the rostrum, left side, yung mga staff din ng mga senador. Sa likod nun, yung mga crew, tayo yung cameramen natin and us from the media. Yung rails na malapit sa session floor, ngayon, hinaharangan na ang media to go forward. While ako last time, ang pinaka-naabutan ko pa is hanggat hindi pa nakakapagpukpok si SP Soto, pwede pa kami lumapit dun sa rails, magta-try namin humatak pa ng ambush interview. Pag nagpukpok, naalis na kami lahat. Pero this time, meron ng stricter na pagbabantay sa mga pupunta doon sa rails. Kung staff, okay siya. So far, as my experience is concerned, kung staff, okay. Kung official photographers, for example, ng mga senador, okay. Pero kapag us from the media, medyo binabantayan talaga nila. And may nakaharang din na ribbon, cordon, just to make sure na hindi kami lalagpas doon sa linya.
In short, hindi nyo pwedeng lapitan ang mga senador unless you're staff. Tama? Parang
So
ganon.
far, and comparing it to the experiences of my senior reporters here at the Senate, dati pa raw kasi, as in dating-dati pa, ang nangyayari, nakakababa pa ang media sa session floor mismo and nakakalapit sa mga senador hanggat hindi pa nagsastart ang sesyon. And during those times, kapag nagpukpok na ang SP, pwede na silang umalis. Pero may window period of trying to get ambush interviews, mas may time to do that compared ngayon na either mahihirapan kami kasi hindi kami makakalapit sa senador dahil may mga nakahalang din na OSA personnel, or another possible strategy din sa ibang entry point papasok yung mga senador to the session hall, or yun nga, yung cordon na nakaharang talaga sa amin plus yung pagbabantay ng OSA personnel. And to note din, mas marami rin kasing media talaga ang nagbabantay ngayon dito sa Senado.
Pero ano ang sagot ng Senate President kanina? Sinabi niya na hindi raw siya, aware daw ba siya? O sino ba ang gumawa nitong, of course, alam niya dapat yan or may kinalaman siya dyan kasi he is the Senate President.
Ang na-raise din kasi, Lord, kanina ni Senator Erwin, is yung access ng media sa 6th floor sa mga opisina doon. And ang nasabi kasi ni SP Cayetano, hindi daw siya kasi nag-office sa 6th floor, so he's yet to know kung ano ba yung protocol doon. Yung sa session halls naman, titingnan din daw nila, lalo meron naman talagang parang SOP, of course, to have the staff their own space and yung hindi sila magagambala, magugulam, mahaharangan doon sa rails. Pero for now, we're yet to hear pa sa magiging call ng leadership regarding sa naging concern ni Senator Erwin Tulfo.
O baka precautionary measures lang yan, baka mangdamba o manghabol o mang-wrestling ang anumang miyembro ng media ng senador balang araw at magkahulugan sa hagdan. Pero maraming salamat sa iyong ulat. Mula sa Senado, ang ating Mojo Merimon Reyes. Alright, more developments ahead on Political Beat. And you're still watching Political Beat. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. posted a record low net satisfaction rating of -15 in the latest Social Weather Station survey for March. Now to weigh in on this and other developments in this crazy world called politics, joining us now is Eric De Torres, political science professor from the University of the East. Professor De Torres, welcome to Political Beat.
Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Sir Lord, at sa mga nanonood at taga-subaybay ng inyong program.
Alright, magtubig muna tayo.
Tubig.
Alright. So, nagulat ka ba doon sa nakuhang mga numero ng presidente? O expected na ito?
Well, expected na ito. And habang tumatagal, nakikita natin yung continuous decline simply because hindi na-address yung mga importanting issues eh. Una, from the flood control. Secondly, pagdating dito sa oil crisis. And thirdly, ito yung impact na nangyayari dito sa inflation. So, itong tatlong major events na ito continues to haunt basically the president that significantly affect his performance. And yun din yung hinahanap ng mga tao, Sir Lord. Yung nasanay tayo for the past 6 years na nung panahon ni FPRRD, head-on, very decisive. Ngayon, in all of this political turmoil, wala ka masyadong makukuha or makikita from the president na talagang explaining this and that. Siya yung talagang nagtitake lead. So perhaps it could be leadership style, it could be a different management style, but people really wanted to hear concrete plans of actions. Lalo na ang bigat nitong kinakaharap nating crisis beyond the politics, yung crisis in terms of the economic and of course the social issues na kung saan talagang tumataas na yung presyo ng mga bilihin, pahirap ng pahirap yung buhay ng mga tao, food security issues. So it's a combination of all sorts. And ang makikinig at maririnig mo doon sa mga beat na manggagaling sa Malacanang are all political issues and attack towards, of course, the other
defense.
side. Defense.
Yes. Kasi constantly under attack naman sila.
Yes.
Parang gano'n ang lumalabas. Pero, kumbaga yung image ng someone who's in control, whether good or bad, whether not he's doing a good job, is immaterial. Basta yung imahen lang ng may parang dati, di ba?
To a certain degree, to a certain extent, yes. Alam mo, Sir Lord, lagi kong sinasabi sa mga pronouncement ko, less politics, more governance. At ang governance dapat yung politika mo eh. Yun yung dapat na may trickle-down effect yung mga ginagawa mong policy adjustments, sa maliliit na tao. At hindi kasi kung mapapansin natin, kung susuriin natin yung nagiging approach ng gobyernong ito, ay stopgap measures or band-aid solutions lang sa pagbibigay ng ayuda. At hindi talaga na-address yung long term. Di ba?
The idea of the ayuda itself is stopgap.
Exactly. So, the idea of the ayuda itself, okay, bibigay, pero ang tagal. Bigyan ka ng magandang example, Sir Lord, and I'm sure you covered this, yung pagbibigay ng mga ayuda doon sa mga transport groups. Isipin mo, bakit, ang hindi ko maintindihan nun, bakit hindi sabay-sabay na simultaneous? Bakit ito munang concentration sa Metro Manila, i-organize ng 500, 300? So,
may listahan pa.
May listahan pa. Of course, for purposes ng bureaucratic ek ng COA, naintindihan natin yan. Pero can it be done simultaneously? Kasi hindi lang naman yung taga Metro Manila yung may nangangailangan. So,
Or pasimplihin.
exactly. Ang dami natin.
Mag-subsidize yung presyo ng gasolina para walang problema. Pag
Exactly.
ganun. Pero hindi yun sexy.
Exactly. So, you have to make hard decisions. Yung decisiveness yung hinahanap. And magtatapos na yung termino, and it seems na kapag may mga mabibigat na issues, parang very neutral, subtle yung nagiging dating ng ating Pangulo. And
Mukhang ganun talaga yata yung personality. Pero ito yung klase ng personality ba na hindi type ng Pinoy?
tingin ko hindi
Kasi
ito.
si Sara Duterte, mataas yung mga numero, kahit papaano, may pitik pa rin.
Very stable kasi kita natin yung Duterte branding. Yung Duterte
Brand
branding.
talaga, no?
It's a brand because the father, former FPRRD, basically was able to successfully convert the brand to Sara or to Baste or basically to the whole Dutertes. Yun yung pinuhunan at pinundasyon ng ama patungo doon sa mga anak.
Ito bang impeachment may magagawa para sa pagtitibag nung kung ano man ang brand na solidify na yon?
Tingin ko, hindi kasi meron ka ng 30, meron na silang 30 to 35% na kahit na anong gawin mo, yun na yun. Yun yung talaga
Pero marami nagsasabi
political base nila.
na yung ceiling na yon, delikado yun. Kasi hindi ka na lalaki, mag-aalago pa beyond that.
Maaaring oo, maaaring hindi. Kasi tip of the iceberg lang yung nakukuha pagdating sa survey. Kasi alam naman natin, survey is, randomly, Greater Manila area, some parts of Balance Luzon, Balance Mindanao. So, hindi talaga siya reflection. Kasi dun yun magre-refer kung bakit nanalo si Bam at saka si Kiko. So, hindi sila lumalabas consistently sa survey. But, sino nagpanalo sa kanila? Hindi naman nasa-survey yung mga nasa universities, yung mga middle class, basically. So, doon, it's considered to be a protest vote, but at the same time, targeted siya. So, doon, hindi mo talaga makikita yung buong universe doon sa 30 to 35%. So,
Curious ako, yung sa mga estudyante mo, of course, wala kayong pasok ngayon, ano? Pero, ano ang political leanings nila? Are they to use na, alam ko, napakababaw, very shallow classifications. Mas DDS ba sila o mas pink or yellow?
Ako, in terms of observing our students, they're very vocal. They're very particular about what is actually happening. But you also have to bring them back to history ng kung ano talagang political dynamics na nangyayari. Kasi yung narrative ngayon, yung now more than ever very dangerous to Yung narrative na pinaglalabanan ngayon is sinong narrative or kaninong narrative ang magpe-prevail.
Speaking of narrative, puputulin muna kita kasi may breaking news tayo. Nako, the Senate is open to amending rules to allow online remote voting. Participation sa voting. So, kumbaga, ito yung sa mga Zoom or any online platform na kinokontest noon kasi this favors the minority. No?
2009, where we had debates here where Senator Enrile did not even allow amendments. And then we voted. It depends on every issue, Madam Chair. There's no specific rule of the amount of time. I was asking the gentleman about certain issues in one resolution. He refused nga for further interpellation and said it's time to vote. They were the majority. So, Madam Chair, we're here. We're willing. Senator Marcoleta is ready to take questions. Ang pinagbobotohan lang po natin ngayon, simple lang. Whether or not we can take, whether or not the proposal to amend the rules is in order. Yung pala mo, yung specific amendment, sino magbe-benefit, paano magbe-benefit, etc. We support the right of Senator Pangilinan to ask questions, pero wala pa tayo dun. So, again, may I raise the previous question, Madam Chair, the point of order, the parliamentary reason. Go ahead.
Madam President, kanina pa po ako nakatayo dito, nagtataas ng kamay.
Senator Dante Marcoleta, and then we hear Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Thank you, Madam
and Senator
Problema
Rory.
natin, Madam President. The Senate President invoked Section 136, Paragraph 2. Kung babasahin po natin ito, Madam President, napakasimple lang. Ito pong Section 136, Paragraph 2, is a special provision in precisely amending our rules. In Section 24 po, this is a general rule. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, it presupposes that we will take up all the bills referred to that committee. General po yung function niya. 136, second paragraph, is a special provision. Sa principle po ng batas, yun pong special provision takes precedence over a general provision. Yun lang po, basahin po ninyo. Hindi nga po, it will not even take one day because this is not a new motion. Kung mapapansin nyo, ni-reiterate ko lang po ito eh. It was already moved last May 11 pa po. So that is even more than one day. So who is talking about one day here? So pinag-uusapan po natin, unless we respect Section 136, ang linaw-linaw po, it talks about the rules may also be amended. Diretso po ito eh. So this takes precedence over Section 24. Simple lang po ito eh.
Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. We recognize Senator Risa Ontiveros.
Salamat, Madam President. Meron din po akong substantive na interpellation sa motion ngayong araw na nire-raise o tatalakayin ni Senator Marcoleta yung text na pinamudmod ni Senate President sa atin ngayong hapon. Pero una, gusto ko pong segundahan yung sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Bagong motion ito, Madam President. Bakit po? Sa ilalim ng Section 24, ni-refer yung unang mosyong binanggit ni Senator Marcoleta noon sa Committee on Rules. Ngayon kung sasabihin na ibinalik yung mosyong iyon, yung unang mosyon ni Senator Marcoleta sa plenary, sino ang gumawa nun? Dapat ang Committee on Rules. Na-initiate na po ang proseso iyon alinsunod sa Section 24. Hindi pa nga po nakukonstitute ang Committee on Rules. Wala pa nga pong minority contingent sa Committee on Rules. So wala pang body na pwedeng ibalik yung unang mosyon ni Senator Marcoleta sa plenary. Kaya ko sinusugundahan ang sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Ito pong mosyon na gustong talakayin ni Senator Marcoleta, pinumudmod ni Senate President sa atin, bagong motion po siya. Kung kaya, nag-a-apply po ang Rule Section 136 na kailangan bigyan ng isang araw pa pagkatapos nito move para talakayin. And tama si Senator Pangilinan, sa Lunes pa po yun, Madam President. Salamat, Madam President.
Madam President, without giving meaning to anything, ito mahirap kasi kung wala po tayong legal background dito. Kaya sinasabi ko na nga po, hindi po bagong motion ito eh. Hindi siya bagong motion. Kasasabi ko lang po, May 11, minug ko na po ito eh. Sino po magsasabi na bagong motion?
Point of order. Ad hominem.
Sinasabi ko lamang po, sinasabi ko lang, kanina po po sinasabi.
Hindi po tama yun.
Section
Yung kasama
136.
niya ay walang kinalaman, walang alam sa
All right, emotions flaring there a little bit among senators. All right, off microphone, there's a motion opening the debate to whether the rules on the online voting can be amended. So, members of the minority and the majority are now debating. Before Senator Marcoleta, we heard Senator Risa Ontiveros referring to a technicality involving the measure must first pass a committee on rules. Okay, now, not a surprising but pretty much surprising development. We thought that we're going to end the day with the kumbaya, words of love from Lito Lapid. But this latest development, nagulat ka pa ba? Usap-usapan na kasi ito, Professor De Torres.
Ako hindi na rin din. Kasi ang tingin ko safety net ito eh. In light of lalo na yung nangyari ngayon, nakakasuhan na ng ombudsman si Senator Jinggoy, and then to follow na yung iba. So this is basically in any political aspect a safety net in terms of in any eventuality na talagang ipaaresto or otherwise they can remotely join the discussion in the impeachment.
For context, this is geared for the convenience or para madagdagan ng boto ng isang senador lamang na pinaghanap ngayon.
Definitely. So kung titignan natin, ano siya, it's a safety net in such a way that they may not be physically present but remotely or in other mode, their votes basically count. Kasi kung titignan natin yung composition, manipis lalo na ngayon.
Very fragile.
13-11, then naging 12-11 na. So yung 12-11 na yan, napakanipis. Plus the pressure being induced upon by for this 3-4 senators, nadadagdagan na nga every now and then. So ano yung contingency measures basically. And this is the most feasible and practical way to look at it as such.
Pero eventually if this goes to voting, ang voting ba na makikita natin the numbers would be similar to, let's say, if they were to vote for a new Senate President?
Most likely. Most likely. Kasi mukhang kung tinitignan natin yung postura, very solid yung minority. And talagang, it's numbers. And on the part of the majority, every senator counts. So one way to look at it as such, to consolidate basically, and eventually, whatever legislative measures, and of course, setting aside the impeachment, it's the manner by which how they could secure the majority still.
Kakainitan kanina. Buti na lang mukhang may
But
break
I'm also
na silang...
listening to Senator Marcoleta.
Natuloy pa rin.
It's kumbaga sa libro, iba yung love language, but I don't think they're meant to be any offense. Having said that, we're only discussing whether we will take up the amendment or not. And we have exhausted already all the arguments. This is a simple motion, so I move that we divide the House. May I reiterate my motion. Then we can go into the merits and they can try to convince us whether or not we agree. So the motion is to take up the amendment to our rules as proposed by Senator Marcoleta. The objection is that it is not in order because we did not follow our own rules.
Madam Chair, Madam President,
Before that,
Madam President,
yes, we recognize Senator Erwin Tulfo.
Madam President, my question is, why is the majority in such a hurry to tackle this motion? This allowing a senator for justifiable reasons to attend and participate in the session through teleconference, whereas in Rule 14, Section 41, under B, it says convene and hold a session through teleconference, video conference, or other reliable forms of remote or electronic means using appropriate information and communications technology system due to force majeure, Madam President, or the occurrence of a national emergency. I guess, Madam President, this justifiable reason, what is that? Does that fall under force majeure or does it fall under national emergency, Madam President? My question
Madam
is,
Chair.
why are we in so hurry? Why are they, the majority, in a hurry to tackle this motion and divide the House, Madam President? We need answers in the minority.
Madam Chair.
Or is it because, Madam Chair, they're in a hurry because of news reports that probably two of our colleagues might land in jail this weekend? Is that the reason why? Is that the reason why they have to have this inserted, the Section 41C, para makaboto po kung sino man yung makukulong dahil sa announcement ng Ombudsman na mailalabas na po ang warrant ng ilan sa mga kasama natin, Madam President. That is my question, Madam
Madam
President.
Chair, the
We recognize
gentleman
Senator-
is out of
Senate
order because his question sa nagmamadali, bakit, can be discussed in the actual motion. Can be discussed after the motion whether we should take it up. We take offense that bibigyan niya ng ganyang kulay. It's just like us saying, are you afraid if we have the hearing on the Blue Ribbon on flood control, mababanggit ka rin? You do not make that kind of statements here in the Senate because you assume good faith from everyone. That rule hindi minadali. May 11 pa ho yun. So, Madam Chair, I move that we divide the House.
And the voting will be done via viva voce.
Madam President,
Minority Leader.
I move to adjourn or a quorum call. That is a higher precedence, Madam President.
So I only see the Minority Leader representing the minority. The others had left.
Madam Chair, we will not object, but for the record,
Yes.
they scampered out and left the minority leader instead of discussing the rule. We are not even discussing the rule yet. And then, ganun na yung allegation nila. And no one from the minority stood up to say that out of order si Senator Erwin Tulfo. So we will not object, Madam Chair. In fact, we move that we adjourn till 5 p.m.
Madam President,
Monday.
before that,
Madam
Before we
President,
adjourn.
motion to adjourn is
Senate
not
President.
debatable. Akala ko ba magaling sa rules?
We're not debating.
It's not
We're not
debatable,
debating
Madam President.
minority
I
leader.
move to adjourn.
We're
I'm
not debating,
and
Madam
we
Chair.
will indeed adjourn.
parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, Senator Marcoleta.
Nung pong nagsimula tayo, Madam, meron po ba tayong quorum?
We had a quorum, yes.
Yes, Madam President. Kapag ka po ba nag-walkout ang minority, nawawala po yung quorum. Nagsimula po tayo may quorum. It doesn't matter if they walk out.
Yes,
I think we still have the quorum.
Madam President, once there is a quorum call, you have to call the roll. Kahit present lahat o kulang kanina o there was a motion to dispense, whatever that is.
Not
A
a funny
quorum
situation,
call,
Madam President, when
motion
they,
to-
when they
motion to
readily
adjourn
and willingly walk out.
takes precedence.
Hindi po yung covered ng rule natin, Madam President.
Madam
Kung
President.
As reiterated by the Senate President and as conveyed by the Minority Leader, former Senate President, the rule states that the motion to adjourn takes precedence. I'm not taking sides.
5 p.m. Monday
And we will adjourn session
until 5
until
p.m.
5 p.m. on
Monday.
Monday, June 1st, 2026.
June 2nd? First one? June 1.
So we just witnessed members of the minority, except for the minority leader, walking out, no, as a form of protest. Pero Professor Eric De Torres, last time na tayo nakakita ng protest na walk out ng mga senador, ano nangyari?
People power.
Part, abangan natin yan. Nako,
Mabigat.
just when we thought na kumakalma na kahit pa paano mga bagay-bagay sa Senado, this happens. No? So, nagdi-discuss ngayon, ang nakikita po natin sa screen, ang dalawang members of the current majority, pero very tenuous. Pero kausapin natin ngayon ang ating mobile journalist sa Senado, Mary Mon Reyes. Mary Mon, okay. Nakakasalubong mo dyan mga members ng minority na nag-walk out. Alright, habang inaantay natin si Mary Mon Reyes, Professor De Torres, mukha namang spontaneous ang walkout kasi nung era of impeachment, planado daw umaga pa lang nakaplano na as a gesture. Pero ito mukhang spontaneous yata ito.
Mukhang spontaneous naman at nakakagulat kasi sabay-sabay silang naglabasan ng
Sabay-sabay. Nakita natin mga tao from the gallery na nauna. Tapos nakikita ko rin sa Senator Bam Aquino, may sinisenya siya. Yeah. Mary Mon Reyes.
Hello.
Yes, Mary Mon. Okay. Nakasalubong mo ba yung mga nag-walkout na senators from the minority?
Yes, oo. Ito yung mga minority senators na ang nagtawag sa kanila para mag-walkout ng session is si Senator Mig Zubiri at ang nakasalubong din natin itong si Senator Rizon Tiveros, si Senator Sherwin Gatchalian na hindi na tinapos yung pagka-clarify ni Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano doon sa nais nilang i-divide ang House para raw malaman kung tatalakayin daw ba session o sa plenaryo yung motion nga para magkaroon ng amendment sa rules para mapayagan ang virtual or remote participation sa session. And ang konteksto rin kasi nito, ito yung naging motion ni Senator Dante Marcoleta. The same day din na nagpakita dito sa Senado si Senator Bato de la Rosa. And ngayon, nagalitan sila, natanong namin si Senator Risa, baka magkaroon pa ba ng botohan ngayon kahit umalis na sila? Ang sabi ni Senator Risa, hindi raw yung mangyayari dahil wala raw silang quorum. Ang pinaka sinasabi nila dito, hindi pa raw kasi ng minority, hindi pa raw kasi fully constituted talaga ang Committee on Rules, kaya yung pagtalakay dito, yung pag-rolyo nito, hindi pa talaga maaari. At kung sakali naman daw na bagong motion, yung nire-raise tungkol nga sa pagtatalakay nito sa plenaryo, kakailanganin daw ng isa pang araw for consideration bago nga maisalang sa plenaryo. At dahil nga holiday bukas, Wednesday, Thursday, walang session, Monday dapat ito matatalakay. Pero ngayon
Mary
wala
Mon.
na sa session hall ang...
Okay, obviously wala ito sa agenda para sa araw na ito.
Yes. Wala ito sa agenda, Lord.
Okay, so anong oras lang or ilang, kasi nung nag-tune in kami, nasa gitna na ng mga nagdebate, no? Nagkainitan pa nga si Senator Tulfo at si Senator Marcoleta at may narinig ako, hindi ko narinig exactly, pero sinabi may ad hominem attack daw. Mukhang mainit na talaga. Pero ilang oras ito pa nagdedebatehan, Mary Mon?
So far kasi nung nagsimula din tayo kaninang mag-live around 7 p.m., mga within those few minutes before 7, nakita na nating nakatayo na nga si SP Cayetano sa floor. So until itong oras na ito, nung nag-walk out ang mga minority senators, yun yung pinag-uusapan nila sa session floor. Yung kay Senator Tulfo, nagsabi siya ng ad hominem nga, ito yung kasagsagan naman na may palitan si Senator Marcoleta at si Senator Rizon Tiveros tungkol naman sa mga technical or yung legal processes na kailangang gamitin daw muna para asikasuhin nga or i-consider itong motion. Kaya, pero ito nga ngayon, wala na tayong makagilap na mga senador na minority sa session hall.
Sino nag-break pala nung usapin? Si SP ba mismo?
Yung naabutan kasi natin, actually nung suspended pa yung pinaka-session and then nung bumalik yung session, ang nakikita natin si Senate President Pro Tempore Loren Legarda na ang nakatayo sa rostrum. Nung pagpabalik ng session, may ilang agenda pa sila na tinalakay, yung ilang administrative matters, yung mga legislations na nirefer na sa kanilang committee. And then later on, nakita na natin nakatayo na sa isang podium, etong si SP Cayetano. Pero ang nililinaw niya raw, ang gusto raw niyang malaman is yung kung maaari na bang matalakay sa plenaryo itong motion. Pero hindi pa ito pagbobotohan yung amendment mismo. Pero yun nga, nung nililinaw ulit ni SP Cayetano itong nais niyang mangyari, doon na natin narinig si Senator Mix na let's go, tinatawag niya na yung mga senador ng minority at tuluyan na silang lumabas ng session hall.
Ano yung exact words na ginamit ni Senator Zubiri? Ano yung sinisigaw niya?
Let's go. Yun yung
Let's go.
narinig natin kasi nasa session hall na rin tayo noon. And then, ang gesture niya is yung pagtawag, parang halika, gano'n. Doon na nakita nagtitayuan na itong mga minority senators.
Ito ba may parang huddle silang ginawa? Kasi parang iniwan nila yung minority leader. Si Tito Sen lang na naiwan sa minority.
Yung huddling, kasi nung nagkaroon nga ng palitan itong si Senator Marcoleta at saka si Senator Risa, tapos doon na pumapasok si Senator Tulfo, yung sinasabi ad hominem, plus pare-pareho sila nagsasalita. Pinasuspend ni Senator De La Garda yung sesyon. Doon natin nakita na tumayo si Senator Risa, and then medyo malayo tayo, may distansya tayo sa pagitan ng nitong mga senador, pero nakita natin nun na magkaharap si Senator Marcoleta at si Senator Risa na may ilang pinag-uusapan regarding that. And then si SP Cayetano, later lumapit siya, sabi niya, ipaliwanag natin ulit dahil daw humahaba daw yung oras regarding that. So nung nagpatuloy na yung sesyon, nagsasalita ulit si SP Cayetano, yung sa clarification niya, doon na nagtayuan na itong minority senators.
Kasama natin dito si Professor Eric De Torres ng UE, pero ustirin galing to. Oo, dugong sampalok to. Pero Mary Mon, ang tawag dito, parang ang strange lang nung attempt ni Senate President Alan Cayetano na can we divide the House? Kung kailan palabas yung mga
yun nga.
palabas yung mga senador. Ngayon ka pa magtatanong. Ang ibig sabihin nun, tingnan natin kung sino ang mga tutol,
Yes.
sino mga gusto. Oo.
Testing waters din.
Mary Mon, akala natin okay na yung araw natin. Akala natin makakapahinga tayo with the words of love from Lito Lapid in mind. Pero hindi pa pala malala yung kagabi. Akala natin malala na yung kagabi, Professor De Torre.
Mas mabigat to. Kasi kagabi, nakita nating glimpse na head-on na ngayon. Talagang wala nang balikan. Although, makikita, with all of this event, no, ma-appreciate ko of course, is the Senate Minority Leader, is Senator Tito Soto Rening, as being the Minority Leader. Ako din, nakikita ko, hindi call it political or drama, it's very unparliamentary to walk out.
Old school pa rin si Tito Sen. No? Old school siya.
Exactly. So, sana they fight it out, they debate upon the rules, 'di ba? Tingin ko may halong politika to steer emotions basically. So, at the end of the day, may kasabihan nga sa political science term, tyranny of the majority.
Akala ko tira of the majority. Oo. Kasi hindi malayo 'yun, ano?
Hindi malayo.
Tira of the majority. Okay. Naku, nagsasalta pa rin si Senator Marcoleta. Playback na lang pala 'yan. Okay. So, kanya-kanya, ano ba, nagpupulong ngayon ang mga minority leaders? Mary Mon? O kanya-kanya uwian na?
Kasi natin sila nakita umakyat sila ng elevator, so it's either aakyat sila sa kanilang mga opisina kung may pagpupulong silang gagawin, or kung bababa na sila sa parking, kung pupunta na sila ng kanilang mga sasakyan. Pero we'll see, tingnan natin. Nandito pa kasi tayo ngayon sa labas ng session hall, and umaabang pa tayo kung sakaling meron pa tayo makakausap na senador.
Temporarily suspended? O
yes.
ano na talaga, adjourned na talaga sila?
Well, ngayon kasi nakikita natin may mga lumalabas na ulit na mga senador dito sa floor. Teka lang, sandali. Ito, may lalapitan tayo.
Si Lito Lapid, tanungin mo.
Oo, nakikita natin ito kasi natin malapitan. Si Senator Marcoleta, nasa labas na siya ngayon ng session hall. And wala na ngayong tao dito sa hall. Ang nakita natin ngayon, si Senator Roy Padilla, Senator Bongo, ang nasa session hall pero wala ng session.
Alright. So, magsasara ang Senado ngayon na mataas ang mga emosyon, Professor Eric, Mary Mon. So, Lunes na ba sila ulit magkikita-kita?
More likely, oo. Unless Thursday, magkakaroon pa sila ng caucus o ibang mga meeting kasi bukas lang naman ang holiday. Thursday, wala kasing sesyon ang Senado pero still working day pa rin yan ng Senate. Kaya maaari kung magkakaroon man ng desisyon ng liderato o kaya naman ang minority bloc tungkol dyan, malalaman natin by then. Pero kung session man ang pag-uusapan natin, Monday next week na ang next na schedule ng sesyon. And then, by next week, adjournment sinadiyan na ng Senado.
Alright, Mary Mon, mag-abang tayo. Baka sigurado ako may magpe-press conference ang ilang membro ng minority ngayon. Okay, Mary Mon, mukhang it's going to be a long night. At tingnan mo kung meron magsusuot dyan ng bulletproof. Maraming salamat, Mary Mon Reyes, ang ating mobile journalist sa Senado. Kasama pa rin natin si Professor Eric De Torres mula sa Political Science Department ng University of the East. Akala ko makapag-usap tayo ng mga theories, jet political philosophies. Paano mo pinapaliwanag sa mga estudyante mo yung mga gantong kabaliwan?
Nako, napakahirap.
Or is it democracy in action na lang?
Well, of course, yung libro, mahalaga. Yung babasahin. Yung pundasyon ng kanilang kaalaman, dapat nakatutok doon sa mga literatura na meron. Kasi yun yung nagde-develop ng kanilang critical thinking. And how do they apply it basically to actual events na nangyayari, lalo na ito ngayon. At sa pagkakataong ito, medyo napakasarap na napakahirap mabuhay sa ganitong klaseng panahon kasi very dynamic at buhay na buhay yung pag-aaral ng teorya at saka ng talagang nangyayari sa realidad.
Pero hindi ba, Prof, ang Pilipinas ang magpapasinungaling that political science is a science, meaning a discipline na may quantitative measurements, etc., etc. Ang hirap sukatin.
Ang hirap. At lalo na, ibang-iba talaga yung theory dun sa apat na sulok ng classroom at yung reality na nangyayari talaga doon sa labas. Na minsan, yung iba natin mga mag-aaral, nakukulture siya kapag nakita ko ano yung talagang reality sa ground na tinatawag.
Considering ang mga, I'm sure, ang turo pa sa henerasyon ninyo, matanda ako kay Prof ng konti, ay ang Senado ang mas konsensya kumbaga ng gobyerno. Sa pagkakataong ito, parang kabaligtad ng konsensya, siya yung id. Oo, yung id siya yung mas maligalig na bahagi. Although, magpapakita ito na hindi talaga completely independent ang Senado.
Well, yun yung nakikita na natin ngayon, Sir Lord, no? Yung independence ng Senado parang nawala. And as time goes by, yung unang-una, kung babalang kasi natin yung Senado ngayon, yung komposisyon ng mga miyembro, lilima lang yung abogado, at yung iba, makikita natin yung background nila. Of course, pwede natin sabihin yung demokrasya diversified. Pero at the end of the day, lawmaking, legislative ka. So iba pa rin din yung may legal lens. Ikalawa, sinisingil tayo ngayon nung klase ng institusyon na meron tayo na talagang personality-based. Ito yung naging politika na meron talaga tayo. At right now as it is, sinisingil na tayo because of, what we are basically witnessing. Ako, nakita ko siguro nung lifetime ko, habang nag-aaral ako, even yung galing ng mga ibinuboto nating mga senador ng mga nakalipas na panahon. Of course, legal luminaries itong mga ito, may legal background, pero ngayon, ano na bang nangyari doon sa mga klase ng mga kandidato? But of course, yun yung boses. So, ano ba yung tingin natin dyan? Problema ba yung institusyon? Kakulangan ba sa edukasyon ng ating mga kababayan? But we would like to believe as of this point in time, it's a war of narratives. It's the branding, it's basically the strategic management approach. You use various social media platforms, and it all affects the electorate's perception.
At walang paliwanag na gumagamit ng mga Pokemon cards. Ang makakatulong ba ang mga bagay-bagay na mga ganito? O mas magkakaroon ba kahit papano ng koneksyon sa intended audience?
Ang hirap nito, Sir Lord, kasi as time goes, lalo na pag all road leads to 2028, makikita natin ngayon, sa akin nakikita, mas magiging polarized pa. Ito, yung nakita natin, akala ko nga, tama yung sinabi mo kahapon, parang yun na yun, kasi parang head-on na, mas malala itong nangyari ngayon.
May teorya ka nga sa nangyari kahapon, di ba? Parang good senator, bad senator.
Oo, parang good cop, bad cop, role-playing boss, yung nangyari. So, ang hirap, of course, speculation natin yan.
Pero bakit si Manang Aimee naman yung sacrificial lang? Bakit? Sa katama, isa-sakripisyo.
Kasi tingin ko hindi siya magagalaw kasi kapatid siya eh.
Kahit,
Di ba? So,
kahit may issues.
and then ito, merong messianic na dating na, okay, pumayag kasi. So, it's confidence building.
Solomonic wisdom.
Yes, may Solomonic wisdom. He created an optics na, nakikinig sa akin, hawak ko yung majority, they all listen to me, we can make compromises. So, we also have to give credit dun sa political prowess ni SP Alan. And of course, hindi natin maikakaila. Ang hirap ding i-manage dahil naging House Speaker din siya. So, ang laki ng House of Representatives back then.
Nagka-issue pa nga yun, di ba?
Exactly. So,
may hindi tumupad sa usapan.
Exactly. So,
Nag-sorry pa sa presidente, nagkamali raw siya ng intindi. Pero may dalawa lang sasabihin sa'yo. Inabot ko pa ng Senator Joker Arroyo. Walang staff halos. Driver lang. Wala nga yatang sekretarya. Pag tumawag ka sa office siya mismo sasagot. Ang media pag may tanong, siya sasagot. Walang spokesperson, walang layers ng bureaucracy. Sulit na sulit ang taxpayers' money.
Rene Sagisag, nagtataksi papunta ng Senado.
Those were the times. Pinalungkot mo naman ako. Pero maraming salamat ang ating political science professor from the University of the East, pero dugong Sampaloc, dugong Espanya, si Professor Eric De Torres. Maraming salamat sa pagpunta dito, Prof. Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Political Beat. We'll be back after this quick break. On February 2, 2012, the 10th day of the Corona impeachment, the entire Senate halls, and better yet, the earth, stood still. For the first time, the gentleman from Pampanga rose to speak. The hall was enveloped in a mist of gasps, suspense, and stifled laughter. He sought clarification over a point that both prosecution and defense were furiously debating on. And with the sharpness of Julio Valiente's knife that splits a bullet in two, Lapid zeroed in right at the heart of the argument. That breathless moment was repeated this afternoon when the gentleman from Pampanga arose to manifest that he remains with the Senate minority. His colleagues, especially the trenchant ones, were powerless to interpolate, which shows you the infinite magic of generosity, sisig, and Baja Blanca from Pampanga. Now, he used to be called the chairman of the Senate Committee on Silence. A newspaper editorial once called him the pride and shame of Pampanga. One very nasty columnist described him as the most expensive piece of furniture the government has ever purchased. But listen to this. In the 14th Congress, Lito Lapid ranked 5th in the most number of bills and resolutions filed. It's after Sonny Trillanes, Manny Villar, Jingo Estrada, and Miriam Santiago, who has 882. In terms of attendance, he beat Miriam and Villar, although there was talk that he vanishes daw after the roll call. In a minute too. And a screenshot of the Senate's attendance log last May 13 shows that he does not waste even a single minute before closing time. But look, Comprehensive Unilateral Hearing Loss Research and Development and Rehabilitation Act, Corporate Social Responsibility Act, Kindergarten Education Act, and the Adopt a Wildlife Species Act. Just some of the many pieces of legislation this man has filed, but none as beautifully bizarre but practical as Senate Bill 2179 or the Children's School Bag Weight Regulation Act of 2010, which seeks to put a limit to the volume and weight of bags of school children. Now, that is one legislation with a lot of understanding, wisdom, and heart. And for the first time, Alan Cayetano, Senate President and Pokemon Master, said something that most critics will agree with. Even if the majority lost a senator from Pampanga to the minority, Lito Lapid will remain forever etched in our hearts. And speaking of cardiac matters,
Inaamin ko, saging lang kami. Pero maghanap ka ng puno sa buong Pilipinas. Saging lang ang may puso. Saging lang ang may puso.
okay, so wrong Lapid, but you get the point, same genes. But our point is, for the first time in a long while, someone in the Senate spoke in tones of genuine calm, positivity, and heart.
Po kasi malaman mo na mahal kita.
If only the day could have ended with that. Okay na tayo. And that's the political beat this Tuesday, the 26th of May. I'm Lourdes Vera. Enjoy the rest of the evening.